Welcome everybody at the ISHA family. Today, this is Meester Master, by the way. Today I'm gonna talk a little bit about the ISHA AD virus expert with a special group 24, so you can easily select within 1 minute and do auto depowering on the bugs. All over the world in 133 countries, this special version of depowering the viruses, worms, helminths, fungus, etc. is used by all people, all users, doctors, therapists, scientists, even professors, to depower the bugs, because we know it's all related to diseases, and all diseases are related to bugs. So what's important in this case by using this is that you know how the software works, and more important, that you know how to interpret, how to know the data. So what does it mean when you see numbers 5, 6, number ones? Are they important, or are the CSS more important? Well, I can tell you CSS are the most important. The numbers is only at a certain time measuring. But we can also see, and I will show you that 99% of all are very, very, very successful. But what needs to be done is to do the full advised treatments by ISHA. So if you have bugs, parasites, worms, virus, fungi, candida, diseases, the most important thing to do is use the full ISHA cure 2-3 times a day. Yeah, there are still people who are not using it at its fullest potential because they cannot get the 100% sodium bicarbonate, etc. You can get it everywhere, by the way, but it's very important. And when they start using the full ISHA cure, then the real wonders start to happen. There are also a little group of people who do not use it on a regular basis, and then they are disappointed by the results. But the biggest group, and that's almost 99% in 133 countries, use the full ISHA cure 2-3 times a day, and they are very successful. They also use the ISHA quantum meta black box, so they can insert the DNA, RNA, and walk freely, and do not have to sit behind the computer. So, what's the most successful way to do it? You have to do it all at the same time, while relaxing for 1 hour a day. So at the same time, you take the free ISHA cure before start. You run depowering on all bugs by the ISHA AD virus expert group 24. So all bugs get depowered and weakened, and their bioactivity is lessened. So they produce less neurotoxins, and the brain fog disappears, people start feeling better. But also at the same time, you have to kill the bugs with the ISHA multi-power zapper. Yeah? And of course, for that hour, the best is to use it on the blood. Here, so you put one on one arm, you put it at the wrist position and the elbow position, you turn it on and leave it on for an hour. And the last step is very important. If you depower all the bugs, if you kill all the bugs, then it must be expelled out of the body, because most of you and your bodies are not able to do it now by yourself. Run the ISHA ionic detox machine program, so all get expelled out of the body, and the body is at the same time fueled with negative ions. The endocrine system are revived, the blood is cleaned, organs function better, etc. And the most important is the biocommunication system functioning is restored. So do it all at the same time. If you really want to be successful, like many are, do it at the same time. So How can you do it at the same time? The ISHA 80 Virus Expert has a special group 24, and we use it in combination with the Mergy mouse auto-click to do auto depowering 24 hours a day, as long as it takes. But in this case, it's for that 1 hour, and after that hour, you can leave it running. Yeah. So it will happen, and all will become number 6. So on the web shop, you can look for the special version for the LRIS Virus Expert and the DNA Expert, the ISHA. Yeah, so you can really do a lot and have a happy time coming. So it's just on the forum, not on the forum, sorry, in the shop. And when you visit the shop, you say make your system. Here you have a special section for software, and then here you have the special section for the virus expert and the DNA expert. So now let's look at the virus expert. So here we have the virus expert, and this special version has all bugs, fungus, viruses, worms, helminths, etc. grouped on one group 24. So it's very easy to select. With your arrow down and your spacebar, you can select them all within 1 minute, as you see. So I'm selecting now, even less than a minute. I think it's 30 seconds, or not even 30 seconds. Yeah. And what you do is you select them all. Almost done. Oh, too much. These are not to be selected. So, and you press the research button. So now all are scanned and researched. And in my case, it's already done. So when you have researched all those, then you can do an autocorrection. So you press the autocorrection, and very important, press the D for depowering, because normally it is on the P for empowering, but you really must press the D for depowering. Now, so this will take about 15 to 20 minutes to finish, and the depowering takes place. It's very important to be persistent, so after 20 minutes it must be pressed again. Now, it's not a handy situation if you're sitting at the couch watching TV with your feet in the ionic detox machine, your zapper on the blood and zapping, and doing auto depowering, and you also have taken your full glass of sodium bicarbonate with DMSO. So we attack from all sides. But after 20 minutes this program stops. Now we have a solution for this, and it's not only for the virus expert, but it's also for the DNA expert. It's also for the Metapathia to do never-ending treatments on the virus expert, DNA expert, and the Metapathia. Then there are also very special scripts made by Team Zeiss from Austria. They worked for more than a year on it. And those very special scripts are for special features like for the physiotherapy, the very important universal rehabilitation. But for now, let's pause this. Yeah. So what happens is, questions were, some people are very successful, most people are very successful, it's almost 99%, and those who are not successful do not take the full ISHA cure, do not do detox at the same time, ionic detox, and they do not do zapping at the same time. So that's what the differences are. But it's also that people think, hey, I'm doing an autocorrection the next day or the next week, and what happens is, hey, I again see number 2s. No, you do not see those number 2s. What you really see is, and I can show you, you have to go back to see the results. You have to go back to the card index. Here is your list. As you can see, I did a scan yesterday and I did treatments today. Here, 5 treatments today. Now, you really see the depowering, yeah, but the program, when it's depowering, it always uses the data from the first scan as a starting point, yeah. That's a normal working of programs. Yeah, they always, you make a scan, yeah, and the first data is used. Yeah, but when you look at, for example, the adenovirus 2 number 5s, yeah, and if you look here at the adenovirus, yeah, you see 3 number 5s. So that's the difference. Yeah, 2 number 5s, and now we look here. Yeah, and also at adenovirus. So you really see it depowering, and but you have to be persistent. The best is, and we shall look at it. You can also look, by the way, at the results from here, and then do comparison. So from the first to the left, and how is the reaction from one to another point. For example, here the adenovirus, and what is the result? 555, there is 5, here's 5, of the adenovirus here. So let's select it here, and let's select it 5, 8, 5, and let's select it here. So you see there's a lot of improvements. But this record, which is used by the system, yes, of course, it is the starting point. So it always shows the starting point, and then when you look at the data, you see what the influences are, just like when doing normal treatments, but now in a negative way. So let's go back to research, and I can show you more about it. So there is a big misinterpretation, yeah, when doing new treatments or scans and seeing all data, because it's very normal that the program shows the starting point record and then the meta therapy. So for example, let's say we take a few one, this one, yeah, just a few, like this, and we do, by the way, again, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we do an autocorrection on the D. So you see it changing, yeah, and see it changing. But the problem is you have to press the button every 20 minutes, so that's not handy. So what we do is use the Mergy Auto Mouse. The Mergy Auto Mouse, by the way, is only $8 for a lifetime usage. And with the Mergy Auto Mouse, you can automate everything within your virus expert, your DNA expert, your Metapathia, etc. With only a press of a button, it will press those buttons, and you can sit in the couch while your computer is in another room or in another country, yeah, and you're using your black box, and it's automatically depowered for you, so you do not have to wait. And when it's finished, it will automatically restart itself again with depowering, as you see, and it will down, 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 down. And in 9 out of 10 cases, all will be depowered within 24 hours. But again, so you can leave it running for 24 hours, and when you come back to your system, you can see, hey, everything is number 6, great, yeah. Now I can do other things like empowering the total body, the DNA and RNA with the DNA Expert, yeah. But in this case, if you really want to have results, do that 1 hour a day, all at the same time, zapping with a multi-power zapper, ionic detoxing, real ionic detoxing, because with the ISHA ionic detox machine you can work on 2 persons on the same time, but it is a very powerful one because it also has an ionic generator which brings in the ions, which normally needs to be produced by the body, but in this case the ionic detox machine creates a negative ion, so the biocommunication system is re-established. So it does not only detox, yeah, on organ systems, yeah, endocrine systems, but it also brings, and that's very important, negative ions into the body, and you can read it on the display. You can see it on the display, the percentage, the level of the ionization. Now, you see it keeps going and going till we press the button and then it stops. You see the mouse returning to white instead of red. So this is how it's easy done. And if you want to know more about the scripts, you can go here to this button for the NLS treatments programs, and here you will find a direct link for Thomas Saiz, who with his team made very fantastic scripts and worked on it for more than a year, almost 2 years, to get fantastic scripts. And of course it has to be paid for, because no company can exist without money, so they also but it's very reasonable, very nice. If you want to only to have an automation of your virus expert, DNA expert, or Metapathia in the following order of ISHA, so you can do in-depth treatments with Metapathia, very easy DNA expert, 24/7 never stops, virus expert never stops, then you can order for MetaMaster. But for universal rehabilitation, for example, which is a must-have for everyone, go to this link and go to Team Zeiss. Yeah? Now, let's look at an example which I had yesterday. Yesterday I had Michael Esselin from Canada, and we did a lot of things. You can see it on the length of the video, but we also did talk about the virus expert, because he also had a misinterpretation about the data. Because what's important in the data is, of course, you want them all to become a number 5 and 6, but the most important are the CSS numbers, because that really shows, yeah, the improvements. You start at 0.123, yeah, but you want them all above 1.000, which I will show you later again, just as taught in the apprentice masterclasses. So that's also something to realize, that all who really watch the apprentice masterclasses and study them, yeah, for at least 3 to 5 times, and some even did 10 times study the apprentice masterclasses, yeah, they are very successful because they understand, yeah, how it's working, what's to be done, what steps need to be made, yeah. And also those people visit a lot the forum and read a lot of the forum and also do posting. Those who do not watch the apprentice master classes regularly are less successful. That's a fact. So, but let's look at here. and there is some echo in this video, but it's only to point out what happens. We have already a scan, and I must say, this person does not yet fully take the free ISHA cure, yeah, but he is already very successful after a couple of weeks doing all the rest, yeah. He is waiting for his sodium bicarbonate, his real sodium bicarbonate, because he used baking soda, and baking soda is not 100% sodium bicarbonate. Baking soda, in baking soda you find 15 or 20% and a lot of other stuff which you do not want to take. So use 100% baking soda, pharmaceutical grade, food grade, yeah, and then magic starts. Now let's look at the results. This date is 21/6. If you press your Ctrl Escape, Ctrl Esc. Now watch what I'm doing. I'm going to the date. Adjust date and time. Because otherwise, now he has also talked about the fact that you can do one scan, and then when you change the system date to the scan date, you can do treatments. And normally you have to do a new scan. Change. Watch. Research.
I will go to view result.
Now this is magic. Because you do not have to do a scan. You select. Oh. Now select of course also the others. Also the others. Deselect. That's not good. Deselect. But because you already did the scan on all the bugs, within 1 minute, you can select them all. Still some echoing, of course. I think it was because look if I can do it in 1 minute. Too loud. Check the time. Now look at the pictures, look at the numbers. These are the numbers from the original.
Yeah, I follow you.
So we did not do a scan. We only changed the date of the scan date. And now watch. Press the D. And everything is depowered in front of your eyes. And you see what how the values are going. Oh, this is what happens. Do not change. Oh, no?
But if you finish this circle and you go again, you start again from the beginning as it used to be before.
No, that's a misinterpretation. It uses the records of the scan to show. But when you go to the treatment record, you will see it's changed. Now I understand the misinterpretation.
You see, you're doing now the correction, am I right? What is it?
Yeah, I did the correction, yeah.
Correction. All right, and it will finish the whole cycle. Then you want to try again because some of them didn't turn to 5 and 6. And when you try the next, it's starting like it was at the beginning.
No, not yet. Not totally. What you have to realize, you cannot kill them all.
Yeah.
That's almost impossible. But you can lower their bioactivity and it does not kill with this system. Because killing is only possible with the zapper.
Yeah.
And that's the misinterpretation. A lot of people think the D is for destruction to kill. But it's not.
No, we understand.
It's depowering.
It's depowering. Yeah, I understand that.
And the results must not be seen here, but in the CSS values. So we will stop this video now. The point is, there's a misinterpretation, as I said, in when people are start over again with depowering, they say, oh, but now it's all back again. No, it's not. The point is, and I'll say it again, to reverse your memory, to update your memory, this is the scan date and these are the starting records. But when you want to see results, you have to look at the results of the metatherapy and do a comparison. Yeah? And then you will see that all will become number 6 in time. And do not forget, at the same time, do zapping 1 hour a day and ionic detox so that they get expelled out of the body. Yeah? Now, so what's important, as I already said, is always go back to the index so you see the differences really, and you can see it here in the list at the beginning. But the most important are the CSS. The most important are the CSS. Yeah? Needies, needus, or bioreceptors, those numbers, in fact, they do not matter. It's only for you to check and to see the improvements within time. But what's more important, and now we have to do a research, but not on the bugs. Now we have to do a research, and you can also do it with DNA, expert, but now we do a research with so now we do research at body parts because we also want to see the most important. You do not have to select them all because the most important are the chakras, the blood cells. And we select a little bit more. The 7-point system. The wall of the heart, the pancreas front view. Sorry, I have not eaten yet. Pancreas front view, the white substance, the thymus, the thyroid from the front and behind. That's enough. We do a research on those items. Nice lines. Because now we want to see the results of all the treatments in the CSS, and all know CSS are the most important. So that's where we look for, where we really want to see the results, the improvement. Because when the CSS go up of the bugs, all the diseases will disappear. They will also go up in the CSS table above 1.00, and our goal is that we get everything above 1.500. And if you're not so successful with, in some cases, on a certain problem area, for example, let's say your liver is not reacting just like all the other body parts, yeah, or your spine, then you can always use the Aura Commandments special version of ISHA, and then you can really do miracles. Now we go back to the index, and from there we go to the results. It is always last on the list, the last records, so we go to the last records in the results table, and then we can have a look. So what's important is the aura is the most important. The aura gives a total representation for the total human being concerning all. So also for the bugs. So let's have a look at the microorganisms and helminths. Now, this person is using the free ISHA cure, her name is Marjolein, the free ISHA cure now for 4 weeks, but not fully and not every day. And yesterday she promised that she would start using it from now on every day. But already a very good improvement as you see, because you see no red numbers, yeah, for the total human being, and it starts at 0.650. So if you really want to know how the situation is going, select the chakras, the aura, yeah, in this case for a woman, and look at the numbers. Now, when we started, she had many in red, yeah, many in red, and that's only when we started depowering the viruses. It was done one time, 24 hours, 2 weeks ago, and yesterday it was done. You cannot see other records or the previous, but yesterday it was gone, just to show you how. So this is important to look at the total human being, because then you know. That also counts for the pathology. Yeah, she had many in red, a very long list. Yeah, but you see, by doing the DNA expert empowering of all the body, and by doing the depower of the microorganisms, yeah, and helminths, you see it already is beginning to start. And every time, yeah, if people really use the full ISHA cure daily, 2-3 times a day, do ionic detox, blood zapping, zapping on the pancreas, the thymus, the thyroid, and then the NLS system, yeah, all will get numbers within a couple of months above 1500, but you have to do it totally and 1 hour a day, all at the same time. Then you really get results. And you really need the ionic detox machine. Now, let's look at what's also important for you to know is fears, is reverse the fears. She had many fears, but now all are almost above 1. Also the words minus and plus, and you would say, yeah, what does this have to mean with the viruses? They are blocking, and when they are blocking, they're also like neurotoxins. So this is also all above 1.00 just in a couple of weeks. And if I can do it, you can do it certainly, because you can do it 100% for 7 days a week, and I can only do it between. Now, this has not yet been done, the universal rehabilitation, but it's very important if you wish for money, for good relations, for a good health, yeah, or depowering the bugs, you can use the universal rehabilitation. It's 18 minutes, and it's very important to use. Thomas Size has special scripts for it. You can do it by hand. He has everything automated, so you can buy them. You can look at the information in the forum, and also on the web shop there's a link to the Size team. So do not forget. So, but when we look as a total human being, as we said, now we see the wall of the heart looks very nice. The pancreas is already improving to number 4s, and these in the beginning it was all, and it's only a couple of weeks ago, numbers 6. Yeah, so do not misunderstand it. For the organ, for all good parts, we want numbers 2. Number 3 is normal, but we would like to have numbers 2 and 1, and because 1 is eating. But we see we already have a huge improvement. Also the white substance is very improving, the thymus gland, the thyroid glands from behind and from the front. If you look at yours, you will see a lot of number 5s and 6. But again, if you do the full ISHA cure, ionic detox, zapping, all at the same time and depowering of the bugs, you get these results too. Now let's look, for example, in the pancreas, at the bugs. And we have to go up here. Now you see, this is a cat disease. This one, if this Strongyloides decoralis is present in the pancreas, it's also present in the thymus, the thyroid and the brain. And in the brain, it's really eating up all the tissues. It's really eating up all the brain and expelling poisonous fluids, and that's why people get brain fog and unclear thinking, etc. If this one is in the pancreas, then people get diabetic after a while, 2 and 1, or even diabetic or even cancers in the pancreas. So you have to work on it, put a zapper on the front and the back of your back at the pancreas level, and zap it, and that's the most important position to start. Zap it for an hour a day, do it an hour on the thymus, 1 hour on the thyroid, so the eyes, the ears and the brain also gets treatment, and also do it on the blood, on the wrist and elbow position. Because it's very important, but this is the most important organ of the body. If you start with this and this improves, the pancreas, not this one, then all systems will start functioning again, and your body gets a lot of healing powers by itself. So do not forget it. And we see the activity 782, 716, so it's loading. So the task is to start using the full ISHA cure daily, 2 times, 3 times. Do ionic detox, blood zapping. Now let's look at a level higher at the thymus gland, and then we can also see okay, I had to check if my recorder is recording. Sometimes I forget. We can also see what's the situation. No red markers anymore, all coming up, so that's very good. And we can also see that in the pathology also coming up only 1, and there was a long list in red. So that's good, going good. Now let's look at the thyroid from the front, from behind, sorry, from the front. Yes, and at the microorganisms, same story, all red gone. And at the behind situation, okay, you see, it takes a lot longer to represent the data. So you really see that the bugs are hiding in the deeper spaces, and eating up all the tissues. Very nasty ones. And now we still see 4 in the red. So we have to work on it. Now let's look at from the thymus to the white substance. Where are you? Here. Now let's look in the white substance. And we see it also takes more time to present the data for the system. So there are too a lot hiding, and probably a lot more, as we also can see in the curve, in the lines, as you see here, And indeed, here you see a lot of bugs in the red, And when we look up here, we will also see the step corrales, but that's something I already teach in the apprentice master classes. So this is why it's very important to use the full ISHA cure. Also, when we look in the wall of the heart, it looks very nice from the outside, but when we look inside, we still have to in the red zone. So this is something which has to be worked on. And she promised, Marjolein, she promised that she would start taking the full ISHA cure from now on every day, at least 2 times, do ionic detox, do multi-power zapping, yeah. So again, to refresh your memory, when you do a new scan, it always takes the first scans, but your results, you have for the results, you have to look at the meta, and here we did not do it, here we did it, yeah. You have to look at the meta, yeah. And also remember the video of Michael, Dr. Michael Esselin, yeah, it was the same story. So, if you want to see where everything is, when you log in to the forum, yeah, the free ISHA cure is here, and there are 31 pages, but the first pages are this. The first page is the most important. This one, yeah. This page is the most important one, and you have all the information. And after some time there will be some updates depending on the results, but this is given by the universe, and this is really a miracle cure, so use it fully, yeah, and do not use it partly. If you use it partly, or do not complain. If you do not do it the way we instructed and advised you for free, do not complain, but start doing it as it should be. So, thank you very much. If you want to order the multi-power zapper or the ionic detox machine, it's on the web shop. Here in the web shop, everything is to be ordered. And for now, I wish you a wonderful time. Have a wonderful time coming. But never forget it again. Bugs, parasites, small viruses, use full ISHA cure 2 or 3 times a day. Use the quantum metabolic blocks. And also for the multi-power zapper, you can put it on the whole day. It's a portable device. So you can do groceries, you go for a walk, have social contacts, meetings, yeah, and no one will see it when you have it on your pancreas, your thymus, yeah, or your blood on your arm. So have a wonderful time coming. This was it. Any more questions, just ask on the forum. Thank you very much.